Hey, all my whimsy and bling peeps, how are you doing? So today I wanted to confess that apparently I cannot follow instructions, and in case you're like me sometimes, wanted to let you know you're not alone and to show you my oops and my oops, how I have been able to turn it into a card and not just throw it out. Okay? So these are some of the other samples that I have made of this particular fun fold. This is with our beautiful Nature's Print stamp set and our Countryside in Designer Series paper. And it is just gorgeous. Love it. And this is with our Cheerful Daisies bundle, the stamp set, and the Designer Series paper. Again, pretty. And then this is the Hello Ladybug, which is actually what we're going to use today. And it comes with a punch, or there is a punch that goes with it, I should say. And just bright, happy summer colors. And this is made with the Irresistible Blooms stamp set that is online. It's not in our catalog, but it's online. And it also comes with, it can come with a die set, and there's this paper, beautiful, beautiful Designer Series paper. So let's go ahead and get started. And you're probably wondering, well, what card are we making? We are making the Ladybug, and bright, happy, happy colors. We got some Garden Green, we got some Azure Afternoon, and our base is Daffodil Delight. It is pretty, it's a pretty easy card to do. However, where I ended up getting confused on the instructions when I first tried to do it, it says score on the long side. I don't know why. I was just having a moment. I thought it meant to score so the lines were parallel to the long side. No, 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 no. Score. So, yeah, that's what happened here. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the scoring together because, yeah, don't want you to mess it up like I messed it up. So this is a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, and this is in Daffodil Delight. And we're going to score at 2 1/8. And yeah, I had to kind of Google and go, where's the 1/8? So now that I know where it is, I'm like, okay, I can actually find that now. So we're going to score. Now, on this Stampin' Up trimmer, the scoring blade is the lighter color blade. So next, we're going to score at 4 1/4. Did you see I almost put that at 4 1/2? Y'all. So we're going to score at 4 1/4. And then our card base is done. Okay. Next, we have our next cardstock, which is this one, the one that opens. And this is in Granny Apple Green. It is 6 by 4 1/4, and we are going to score that at 3. I have to tell you, I really like this fun fold. It's just so cute. And then we're going to have a piece of basic white for our kind of like background right here. And that is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. And then we have another piece of basic white, which is going to be, goes right there. I ended up putting it over here first, and I'm like, well, that's silly. Now I need another one. And you could certainly do that if you had you wanted to have a lot of space to write. You could certainly put 2 pieces of white in there. I just did oops. So this one is going to be 4 by 2 3/4. And then you need a scrap of some kind for your sentiment. Now, you're going to have to really figure out what sentiment you want on there. Like, you don't have to do 2 ladybugs. I kind of really liked it, so that's why I did it. And then you need some DSP, and we are using the Brights collection of DSP. And it comes in 6x6, and we are choosing the Azure Afternoon. We have one piece at 4 1/4 by 3, and we have another piece at 4 by 2 3/4. Now, want to see some magic? Did you see that? It did it again. So that's the kind of cool thing about DSP. You can, you know, it's got two sides. So we are done cutting and scoring. Now we need to go ahead and start assembling our card. So let's go ahead and fold our card and go ahead and give it a good crease. And then another good crease. And our green, let's do our green, our greeny apple green, such a happy green. All right, so those two are folded and scored. Let's go ahead, and we need a piece of scrap paper, just in case. We're gonna go ahead and start by doing our little flowers from the Hello Ladybug. While I'm here, let me get out all the stamps that I need. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, let's see. I'd actually wash this stamp set over the weekend because it just was no longer sticking to my blocks. Did you know that you can wash these stamps? And it's like an awesome thing. All right, so we are going to use our, let's get our sample, our Granny Apple Green ink, and we're just gonna randomly stamp these flowers along the edge, just to give it a little bit more interest. If you wanted to, you could definitely use a piece of Designer Series paper. That one did not stamp good. Yeah. And I had thought about doing that, but I'm getting kind of low on the Designer Series paper for in this color, so that's why I didn't. Now, before we go any farther, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a flower on our inside piece. All right, that is done. And I forgot to get out one stamp. So this one is a good one. I like this one. It's called May Your Greatest Wish Come True. And I think it's just like kind of perfect for a birthday, you know? Now we're gonna go ahead and stamp that on the inside. And then we're gonna do one last thing, and we can, well, no, we're not gonna do that quite yet. All right, getting a little ahead of myself, So let's go ahead and put this, our background. I can find my glue. I'm always losing my glue. You know, I used to be a, like, adhesive girl, you know, like adhesive runner. And then I started making cards where I really needed to use the liquid glue. And then I'm like, well, that's like awesome. I really like this liquid glue here. Now, here's where we have to make a decision. Do we want, well, I guess, do we want the stripe here and the polka dot here, like, or do we want the stripe here and the polka dot? You know what? Let's just, no, you know what? I like the stripe. I just feel like, you know, the bees look pretty good on the stripe. So let's go ahead and do it that way. But sometimes those are hard decisions to make. It's like, ah, and sometimes people don't want to cut up their Designer Series paper because they're like, it's too pretty. I don't want to. And while we're here, let's get our inside piece on the right, on the correct side, which in this case is actually on the left-hand side. And then what we're gonna do is, I don't want it to come all the way over. I do want it to be about there. Make sure I'm straight. And this is where I definitely like to use liquid glue. Once I have it like that, I'm gonna hold it together. And then I'm gonna come over here on the back side and I'm gonna put my liquid glue that I'm almost out of, so that I know exactly where to place it. And then flip that over. There. All right, that looks good. Now, here's the thing, and I have messed it up. So, learn from my mistake. This is all about learning from my mistakes on this card, okay? Do not do all of my oopsies. This piece of designer series paper can only be glued on half, okay? Because otherwise it's gonna adhere to everything and it's gonna be a mess. So what I do here is I get it where I want it, I flip it over, then I put my glue. I'm on glue, just a couple more. Get my glue on there, and then I flip it back over. I put my paper down. Because yes, I have put glue on the whole thing. Yep, I did that. So now we get to do the fun part. We get to use our Hello Ladybug punch, and we get to punch out 2 bodies and 2 wings. So what we're gonna do is put that right in there. There's one body, and then I'm just gonna go over here to the side. You could cut it if you're making a lot. All right, so there's that, and then we need 2 yellow wings. So we're gonna come in here and do it on this side. And then, let's see. Yeah, it does. I can't waste paper like that. So, flip it back over or do however you want to. All right, so now we have 2 wings and 2 bodies. And all we need to do is stamp in our basic tuxedo black the spots. Now, with my black, because it is not made like our other ink pads, and our other ink pads, you can see when you open it up, our ink had already been face down. These, the black, they're not face down. So when I store mine upside down so that the ink will always be at the top. The other tip here is I find it's easier for me to punch out my wings and then line up my stamp. And it's the same way if I was using the other set of wings, I would do it the exact same way. Punch out the wings and then do the stamping. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is adhere our wings to our, I guess they're not ladybugs in this case. I guess they're a bumblebee. And oh my stars, did I end up running out of glue? I really have so little left to glue, like this wing, and that's it. That's all we gotta do. Okay, we might make it. So note to self, go down and get more glue from my stash. What is your favorite kind of glue? Is it a adhesive tape runner or is it liquid glue? All right, there you go. Now we are going to go ahead and use our dimensionals, and what I like to do is I like to put a dimensional so it covers each wing, and then one up towards the head. And then we are almost done with this really cute card that was such an oopsie for me. All right. Oops. And I'll show you what I did for our sentiment. All right. Now the other thing is you don't want your bumblebee hanging off, because you definitely don't want it to get in the way of the paper needing to be opened. All right, now on the hello, what I did is I took a piece of Granny Apple Green and I went ahead and punched out a leaf. Or excuse, not a leaf. This is the wings, but I have seen people use this particular part of the punch and make leaves from it. It's really quite cute. So that's what I did here. I took it, I punched it, and then I took my scissors just to try to clean it up a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is take our black again, and we are going to stamp hello. Now, all right, I think I want it that way. All right. And that is not going to go on dimensionals. And oh my stars, will my glue give me something? Yeah, we are at the end. All right, and I'm just gonna tuck, because I don't like that edge, I'm just gonna make sure that part is tucked under her wings. And then we are at what, people, my favorite part, the bling. Let's bring it on. Where's my take a pic tool? If I was to take a pic tool, I would be buried. All right, let's go ahead and add some embellishments, because every good card needs to have some embellishments, and I absolutely do not like to have that one there. But you know what? Let's go ahead and put it right next to that. So there you go. A cute, fun fold that you could use any paper, any stamp set to create. Just remember, do not do what I did the first time. When you're scoring, if you have it in your cutter, you're going to score it 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay? And then it would be able to be folded back like that. Remember, only adhesive on one part of the designer series paper, and you could put an extra piece of white over here for more space to write on there. And remember, you don't want your little ladybugs all the way over here, because they'll end up getting squished. But there you go, a cute little card. Is that not cute? And you could definitely do any sentiment on there. You could do any stamp set. You could do anything. You could use die cuts and stuff. So thank you so much for watching. If you're over on Facebook, go ahead and give my page a like and a follow. Give the video a like. Leave me a comment. I appreciate it. Over on YouTube, please go ahead and like my channel, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead, like the video, leave me a comment. I would appreciate it. And until next time, remember, be whimsy and add bling. Bye, y'all.